No, I'm not late, toys. I'm pretty much right on time. Let's see. Hello, toy. I guess you're the only one here right now. Let's just see what you've been saying here. First, yeah, you were first. Door unlocks and opens, revealing light in an otherwise dark room. A click is heard, and the room is illuminated. A man walks to a desk, feels a laptop, turns it on. The screen. He clicks a link that says the Mikestand. A man gets up and walks to the door. A click is heard, and the lights flutter as they turn off, and the man exits, closing the door behind him. Sound of the lock turning in place loudly echoes through the room, as though it was a foreboding to a never-ending silence in the darkness. Oh, brother. After a few minutes, meek whimpers can be heard, and almost silent gasps and pleas for help are nearly inaudible. Please, the food dog. Oh, God. After the pleas of the whimpers go on for days and days, they fall silent. You, as a hired security guard, pick up your phone and dial the phone number left there for when the room goes silent. And the other side of the phone, you hear three rings, and a coarse, solemn voice responds, yes. You quiver in fear and inform the voice that room 20 of the 89 rooms you monitor has gone silent. You know what you do is wrong, and you know the right thing to do is to call the police. Then you come to your senses and remember the voice in room 20 was your previous coworker, and Hush is the name of the game. Out loud, hope you guys enjoyed the small quip from one of my short stories. Late. Oh, brother. All right. So, hello, everybody. um. So yeah, I guess Toys decided to um. Toys had decided to grace us with some literature of his. Okay. Excuse me for one moment. Just got to take care of something real quick. I'll be right back. All right. So, yeah, I had a quick dinner before coming on, so that's why I may seem a little disorganized here. Laugh out loud. Sometimes my stories get narrated by Dr. Creep and Laugh out loud. Hey, everyone. Hey, May May. All right. So we have three people in here so far. We'll wait a couple more minutes before get going. How are you guys doing tonight? And as always, guys, of course, I do appreciate all the likes and shares. That helps with the algorithm. So we can get some more people in here. Hey there, May May from Good Good. What's up, man? Okay. So, anyways. So, how'd your day go today, guys? Do anything exciting? Do anything exciting today? Nah, just smash a couple times, drink beer, worked on my third print. Okay, that sounds like a pretty busy day though. There, toys. Um, let's see. There we go. All right. Well, let's see. We're about 8.5 minutes in here, so I guess there's three of us here, so I guess I can go ahead and kind of at least give you guys what's on top for tonight. So we got five stories tonight. Basically two from Bounding in Comics, the other three from CBR. Two comics based stories, couple anime stories, and then and then a basically a story about an animated series, cartoon, what have you. Um, let's see now. So and I will just real quick here. Can I go? So let's see. Among the stories we'll be talking about tonight include um, so J. Scott Campbell, and I know Flash did a video on this one this morning as well. Apparently, he apologized for getting into his Twitter fights, um, and that's now getting some heat as well. Where during his apology, he kind of turned on Comicsgate a bit. Um, Also, some news from let's see, who was it? The oh yeah, Tokyo Ghoul creator Suishida has an announcement. Also on tap, we have some news in regards to. Oh yeah, okay. So there's an announcement from Mappa in regards to an anime series, as well as well, apparently somebody thought it's a good idea to have an ASMR anime. So we'll be looking at that article as well, and then some Bird Girl news as well, I guess. So that's all that's on tap. Plus, of course, this day in each history. Um, let's see now. So, laugh a lot. I hope everyone is doing well and feeling good. And it looks like it's just the three of us so far. Toys. Let's see. It's what we're at the 11 and a half minute mark coming up on here. So we'll wait a couple more minutes, see if anybody else shows up. And if not, we'll just get going right away. So, yeah. So, go ahead and. All set up. And so there's a story right there. Let's see now. Tokyo Ghoul season was great. Season 2 was a letdown. I think there's some more news coming out of that just from what we'll be looking at here. But it may be in more reference to the manga than the actual anime because this is in the comic book section. So let's see where we at. We're like coming up on 13 minutes here. Let's see. Shall I wait? Um, see. Is Mimi. The manga is recommended to be read instead. Well, I did see the anime. I know it's a pretty dark anime. Give me a quick sec. Just got to do something real quick. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Let's see if there's. Yeah, it looks like there's nothing new in terms of the comments here. So I guess we can go ahead and get started. I think I've waited long enough. So I guess we'll get started on the article. Then we're already 15 and a half minutes in here. Okay, so let's get started here. J. Scott Campbell apologizes for statement describing Comicsgate as alt-right hate group. and Sabakuli from today. I know that Yellow Flash did a video on this morning, so let's get into this. After denouncing the entirety of Comicsgate as an alt-right hate group, veteran comic book artist J. Scott Campbell has issued apology for painting the entire group with the same brush, explaining that his initial statement was inspired by how some individuals who were making hateful and bigoted attacks were doing so in the name of comedy. Well, here's the thing, though. As Yellow Flash, but he should not have. He should first off, he should not have apologized in the first place to the Twitiots. Okay, that's where he made his first. After they went after him for his artwork, because he's never. They're never gonna win. You're never gonna win with these people. They're not going to change their mind. It's not like even if you did comply with what they wanted, they're not going to go out and buy your books. So, I mean, you just keep doing what you're doing. They have an issue with it. That's their issue, not yours. Source: The Amazing Spider-Man, Volume 1, Issue number 601, Marvel Comics, art by J. Scott Campbell. Several days after he refuted a Tumblr artist's "quote unquote" fix of his Amazing Spider-Man number 601 cover artwork, featuring Mary Jane Watson with a counter critique of his own in his now infamous "The Fix Is In" thread, Campbell took to his various social media accounts to issue another statement on the matter, this time directed towards those involved in the discourse surrounding his post. Now, as I understand it from what Flash said, a lot of this was people defending him, standing up to him against the Twidiots. Not necessarily a good look if those who are coming to his defense, he's then turning around and just totally, toilet bowling them. After noting that it had been brought to my attention that there are some bigoted, hateful, and completely over the line comment buried in my "The Fix Is In" thread, and explained that some of the comments may still be found under his post due to him being physically unable to monitor every comment thread. Campbell appeared to draw a connection between the alleged bigotry and the Comicsgate movement. I guess this is a copy of the statement from his Twitter. Let me make this is seek clear as I possibly can. I guess he's supposed to say as clear, wrote Campbell. I am completely and totally against any bigoted comments, anti-LGBTQ, anti-trans, hate speech of any kind, threats, any of that sort of thing. He continued, I have no affiliation with Comicsgate. I am not alt-right, not anti-woman, or endorse any fringe groups that push hate. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at this point. They've already labeled you. So I mean, at this point, you just might as well just stand up and say, "Up yours, buddy." Of course, one of the things Splash had pointed out too in his videos was that part of this was probably coming from the company as well, Marvel Comics, some of the upper level people at Marvel who were basically telling him that he needed to submit, which is baloney. Because from what I hear, a lot of people believe if you wanted to, he could go independent and probably make as much, if not even more, money at this point. Because we all know Marvel's going down the tubes. He continued. Oh, yeah, we already read that part. Okay, let's see. Period. The post and commentary in question, whichever side you may fall on the topic, was intended to be playful, perhaps a bit snarky in tone, but absolutely not meant to inspire hate. Again, it doesn't really matter because these people are hateful to begin with, and they just look for hate. They just look for things to burn. Marvel number one, variant edition, The Amazing Mary Jane. He continued, some have insinuated that by referring to the person as non-binary thin, that I was somehow mocking the term. Campbell clarified, it wasn't. I wasn't. It was the only name I had to work with, and even settled on NBF to try and make that a non issue. You can try to make it a non issue all you want, but they're going to make it an issue. Because it wasn't the issue, he declared art fixing, artist disrespect, art community bullying, and more importantly, art censorship was the discussion. Amazing Mary Jane. Amazing Mary Jane, Volume 1, Number 1, J. Scott Campbell, 70s variant cover, 2019. I don't believe art censorship is a left or a right thing, further explained Campbell. My observation, both sides use it as a tool and as a strategy for their individual means and agendas. But at my core, as a creative individual and as an artist, let me state I am fundamentally against censorship and being told in general what I cannot draw by any group, political or otherwise. Okay. Just because I'm at odds with a lot of the extreme viewpoints and attempts at censorship of my art from the left doesn't mean I'm in alignment with the alt right and hate speech either, he asserted. I know we're led to believe that the current landscape is an either or. You're either with us or against us. It's black or it's white. It's not, Campbell said. So at least he's trying to stay neutral here, but people are, it seems like people are trying to drag him into something that maybe he just doesn't want to get dragged into. This isn't the presidential election. There can be, and there are, many shades of gray in regards to all kinds of different topics. As an artist in the modern world, I find myself feeling I'm somewhere in the middle, and I feel a lot of us are feeling that way these days. He elaborated. After facing an understandable outpouring of backlash from Comicsgate supporters, many of whom cordially attempted to clear up Campbell's misconceptions about the group, the artist followed up his initial statement with a tweet stating, "Who knew that clarifying that you are against hate speech, making threats, bigotry, etc., would get so many upset and drop you? But hey, that's our modern society. I stand by what I stated." Let's see. A lot of people threw support behind you and your freedom to create, replied YouTuber Heels versus Babyface to Campbell, attempting to explain to the artist the reasoning behind the backlash. Then he got labeled alt right or anti this or that, and you likely got pressured into your statement by the very people who have torn mainstream comics apart. I like your work a lot, but you bit the hand that feeds, which I get from I guess from Heels versus Babyface and many of the people who probably defended him. after the whole fixing situation, yeah, I think they have a right to be upset about that. They have a right to naturally be upset. You stand up for a guy because you believe in what he said and what he did, and then he not only betrays you, but he basically betrays himself. He turns his back on the very thing that he stood on. You know, you know, you really have to have stronger convictions than that. You know. Okay, are you guys still here? Because now the counter's showing only one, apparently. Hey, well, two. So I guess we got five people, 5 likes now. So that's cool. Um, Now we got apparently 2 people watching. Um, I know there might be some people lurking, so I do get that. I'm still here. Yeah, I just noticed that it seemed like the counter had gone down to one, and then so I went over to YouTube and refreshed the page and saw that there were 2 people watching and 5 likes. So I know there's probably been a couple people at least been in there. But basically, yeah, from the sounds of it, after the whole fixing situation, I think from what I understand, Campbell got some pressure from some higher ups, had to make a statement denouncing. I think he basically got threatened that if he didn't sit there and denounce Comics Gate, that they were going to fire him. That's the way Flash had kind of put it. And then he came back in the. He should not have bent the knee in the first place. He should just not have bent the knee in the first place. Should just stood by his guns because the people would have stood with him. So, Campbell, in turn, dismissed the YouTuber's explanation, telling him, "If you self-identify with hate speech, then I'm sorry you got your feelings hurt. For all you know, I could have also been shaming the hate speech that I saw, from the left too. Nothing about drawing sexy ladies identified me with either political stance." And that's true too. But I think heel versus babyface's issue was, as he put it, you bit the hand that fed you. You know, your fans, those who do appreciate your work, are going to stand behind you. When these people pull this BS. So this particular discourse went on for some time, with Campbell engaging in various discussions on the subject with a number of individuals who considered themselves affiliated with Commonsgate in some way, shape, or form. Eventually, 2 days after his initial statement, Campbell posted yet another lengthy statement to his social media, this time offering a clarification to his statements regarding the entirety of the Commonsgate movement. Here's another show of the cover of The Amazing Mary Jane. Let's see. Of course, Amazing Spider-Man, The Amazing Mary Jane, Volume 1, number 1, J. Scott Campbell, 90s variant cover. I've taken the time to hear out several individuals who felt I painted them in a poor light when I made my statement about the divisive and heated rhetoric hidden within my message threads on Instagram and Twitter this past week, wrote Campbell. Some clarification that I feel is important, he added. What I was stating earlier is that I am not comfortable being implicated or included into any group, without my consent, regardless of the group. All right, fair enough. If you just made that statement in the beginning, then you just just directly said that instead of like trashing on some people. That's probably you probably there probably would be no problem. But for the most part, you should not have just bent the knee in the first place. Campbell then explained the reason I specifically referred to this group, Comicsgate, is because it was the only specific group that kept coming up by name. Honestly, from what I've read and seen in documentaries about Comicsgate or about Gamergate and that whole fiasco, anything with gate in it probably gets an instant recall from me. Well, I wonder though if Jay Scott here understands what gatekeeping is though. And some individuals who were making hateful and bigoted attacks were doing so in the name of Comicsgate. He then claimed, it's important to also state I encountered some very toxic and hateful things being said from the other side as well. Hence, my earlier comments about feeling more pushed to the middle of these two extreme viewpoints about art. Black Cat, here's it from June. I guess Marvel 1 there. And it's kind of funny here because the Black Cat cover is a very similar cover to that other cover they were talking about. Black Cat, Volume 1, Number 1, 2019. The Black Cat cover here is very similar to the Amazing Spider-Man number 601 cover that he did, just with Felicia Hardy instead of Mary Jane, and facing maybe another direction there. Campbell next stated, I stand by what I said. I don't tolerate any sort of hate speech, bigotry, racism, women hate, and I will always push back on any association with individuals who act this way. However, he added, if individual members of this Commonsgate community adamantly insist that's not what they stand for, I feel I should give these folks the benefit of the doubt and take them at their word and not paint the entire group with the same brush. Yeah, I think that's something they'd agree with you on. Uh, let's see now. Him not here. Okay. Let's see. Woody, Batgoat, and Leto are late, and Leto comes right in. Hey, Mike. Hey, Toys. Hey, Meme. Hey, Leto. Um, Black Cat cover needs fixing. I better take that. Oh yeah, they'll probably try to fix that too. The fixers out there. We're already up to 7. Right. So let's see now. They insist they are not a hive mind, as they which probably is why their messaging is very confusing to someone in my position who really doesn't keep up with all of the noise, clarified Campbell. He went on to note that several have interacted with me very respectfully, and we openly engaged about our mutual concern about art censorship and exercising our artist freedoms of expression. And they've been very civil, reasonable, and occasionally even delightful. Well, yeah, I mean they're standing up for you, man. You should be more respectful of that fact. They're not your enemy. If anything, it's the SJWs and some of those woke idiots up top at Marvel who are your enemy. Gwen Stacy, Volume 1, Number 1, J. Scott Campbell variant cover, 2020 Marvel Comics. Looks like they got Gwen there with Mary Jane. Campbell further praised these discussions with Comicsgate members by noting, these are important, valuable discussions we should all be having more openly and more thoughtfully, without it devolving into tribalism and absolutes. So, to these folks, I apologize for whatever grief or embarrassment I may have caused you with my earlier word jumble and wide brush, said Campbell. I hope these individuals who feel I unfairly grouped them into a smaller group of bad actors will accept my apology. It's not a good feeling being accused of statements and actions you haven't committed and aren't in your heart. I can certainly attest to that. Captain Marvel, Volume 10, Number 1, J. Scott Campbell variant cover, 2019 Marvel Comics. I'm sure I'll be vilified by some on both sides of this debate for clarifying myself and actually talking to individuals of differing viewpoints. But I can only be true to my own values and sense of right and wrong, and continue to treat others as I want to be treated. He concluded, I will continue to stand up for my values, but I will try even harder to listen, learn, and try to bring us together rather than push us further apart. What do you make of Campbell's initial denouncement of Commsgate and his follow up apology? Let us know your thoughts on social media or in the comments. Well, I had it until I kind of peeked in on Flash's stream. I didn't even know he had denounced Commsgate, which I think was kind of a bad move. I think at this point, Campbell should just let it go. I think he's basically said all that he needs to say, and because he's not gonna win. He's not gonna win. He's not okay. The people who are fixing his art, he's not gonna change them. He's not gonna change their minds. He's not gonna change their opinions of him. Okay, they want to be little babies. Let them be babies. Something my dad had told me several times throughout my life is that not everybody's going to be your friend. Sometimes you just have to, let it go, not, really, devote a lot of your mental energy to it. So, it looks like there have been some. Um, yeah, feet. Okay. Feet. Okay. Sorry, I'm late, teacher, but Bobby punched me in the genitalia when we were in the hallway. Oh boy. I'm gonna ghost ride his bike into the boulevard. Let's see. Did he punch you with his face? Cause I'm really sure ain't right. Oh, Okay, guys, let's try to keep the graphic stuff to a minimum. Man, I don't think we really need that image there, Leto. Jeez. That was my imitation of a third grader being late for class. Okay. I thought it was an imitation of Toy's entrance. Laugh out loud. Ooh. No, he punched me, so I kicked him in the neck. Um, I'm gonna throw poo on his roof. Okay. Hello, Little. You're such a great young man. And then there's Batgoat. What's your excuse this time, Batgoat? On a punch in the nether region. Was it? And you didn't think to go to the nurse's office for a note? Oh boy, children, let's behave. Hi, Batgoat buddy. To the principal's office, Batgoat. Oh boy. No, this is a complete different kind of lunacy. Out loud, what up, yo toys, Leto? Plus, um, man, yesterday when Mike had a stream, I passed out. Hopefully, I won't do that today. I was tired. Yeah, I kind of noticed at the end, it seemed like everybody had just kind of dropped out. Like, I think May May and Dave were the only ones who remained. Like, everybody else just kind of disappeared, like off the face of the earth or something like that. So, I still did at the very end, of course, do this day in each history. So if you guys wanted to go back and check that out, you can. Um, so when you and I know that we got more than three people in here. Leto, today is your day. I passed out about halfway through last night. Yeah, I know. I know you. You mentioned that. You mentioned that the couch is calling to you, bad goat. Let's see. Laugh out loud. Today is my day. Oh, because of the disaster of a stream today? Then yes, I agree. Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. Right now, you're feeling like what you gotta do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. When all the road that leads us there is winding, and all the lights that light the way are blinding. There are many things that I like to say to you, but I don't know how. 'Cause maybe it's gonna be one that's crazy. Well, I fell off. You're my wonder one. Yes, Leto. Only great things have happened to you today. Today you got to see the ending to FF8, Final Fantasy 8, and you found out you weren't tired. Look at it, Leto. Oh right, haha. It's like someone shoving me down a canyon, but then saved me after pushing me. So I was mad and then relieved. Sing it, Mike. 'Cause maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me since I fell off. You're my wonder wall. How about Leto? I'd save you with my strong hand. Hmm. So, anyways, so let's get ready to move on to the next story then here. Um, yeah, I know. As I said, Yellow Flash did a bit of the story on the J. Scott Campbell situation. You guys remember J. Scott Campbell was the one where they fixed his cover, and then I guess he fixed their fixes, and I guess according to Yellow Flash and Heels was Babyface, he got some pressure from higher ups where he had to make a statement denouncing Comicsgate, and he apologized for that. So I think at this point he just needs to just let it go and move on. That's my take on it. So close his eyes and wags finger to Oasis. Laugh out loud. Leto tomorrow's video is a fail video. Laugh out loud. Anyways. Well, actually, it was Batgoat who, I guess, made the statement about. Oh, wait. No, actually, okay, so Leto said that, and Batgoat said, I'd use my pimp hand, but I'm a cretin. And don't F with CG, not smart. Yeah, well, some people were, I think what some people were kind of saying, Batgoat, is that, well, I think what it was more, it was like when he got all that heat over people fixing his art, CG, there were people in CG who stood up for him. And then he basically, backhanded them, because he got pressure from up top. You know, I think that's what Heels versus Babyface pointing out, and Flash, and I'll point that out in this video as well. So that's what got him some heat for it. Let me see. Yeah, he did eventually apologize, but I think at this point it's just best for him to just let it go and just move on. If he gets any more heat you know from the higher ups at Marvel, he's just ignore them and just ignore them. That goat, your pimp hand is covered in baby powder. Powder. The grip would be compromised. Yeah, it was sucky. He was told not to bend the knee, and we know why, because you can't you know you can't win with these people. Okay, you can't. You're not going to change their mind. You know, I think we've all had to learn this lesson at some point. My dad had repeatedly told me this as I was growing up, and I had to learn this lesson over and over and over and over again. Not everybody's gonna like you. You have to just deal with it and just continue living your life as you see fit. You know, I think that's what Jay Scott's got to do there. He's got to just got to, at this point, just move on from it. Don't continue to engage with them on this subject. Move on. That's what they got to do. Have that loud gold bond powder. Okay, so anyways, on to the next article here. Oh, and of course, on a little side note that, of course, Yellow Flash brought up again today in that video was how the top 20 graphic novel sales in the U.S. are all dominated by Japanese companies. So that should tell you something right there. I know we talked about that a little bit yesterday too. So, anyways, Tokyo Ghoul creator Sui Ishida announces brand new series titled Chojin X. Um, Article by John F. Trent from today, from the comic book and manga section here. Tokyo Ghoul creator Sui Ishida recently informed his fans and followers that he's working on a brand new series titled Chojin X. The first issue of the series was released on May 10th, which was yesterday, in Japan. It is being released on the Tonari no Young Jump service, while for English speakers, it's available on the Shonen Jump app and Manga Plus. While the first issue was released today, in a message on Twitter, Ishida noted that he will be working at his own pace. Um, so here's I guess the translation. I guess Chojin is the Japanese word for Superman. But anyways, episode 1, Superman X, Sui Ishida, Young Jump Next Door. The new manga, Superman X, will be serialized. Um, I want to draw the background and finish by myself, so updates will be at your own pace. I hope you can accompany me in your spare time. Nice to meet you. Um, see, saying much yet. All right, so let's see. All right, so that gonna get me a soda. Be right back. Okay. I used to carry an extra large gold bond into the field so the Marines could grab a little powder and put it private areas to keep rashes down. Okay, probably a little more information than we really needed here, especially in mixed company, especially if Mamie is still with us. So, hmm, is there a couple more comments here? Wow. Yeah, for real, Mike. Laugh out loud. Anyways, I'll be right back, guys. Just kidding. Oh. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I know it's still tame, but still remember, Batgo, we are in mixed company, so now that we do have a woman here with us, you should probably be a little more careful with that kind of stuff. That would make a hell of a gold commercial. Okay, so anyway, I'll be right back, guys. Just gotta go off camera here for a moment. All right, so let's see. Um, okay, let's see. It's fine. Laugh out loud. Without Leto, he's using the shared nut powder to save your life. Okay. Mei is open. Is one of us. Nut powder. Oh boy. Ah, is what I'll be shooting when I'm 90. Shh, you mugs will get in me in hot water. Uh, laugh out loud. Ha ha ha. Better than cold water, Michi. Oh boy. Oh, geez. that would that would have been a 3-pointer on Friday night. Laugh out loud. All right. Anyways, let's get back to this article, guys. Ah, on the official Shonen Jump app, the series description reads: "Sometimes to fight a monster, you must become one." First chapter is a whopping 79 pages. It takes place in Japan, where people have the ability to become chojins or superpowered peoples. In the first chapter, Ishida introduces readers to three different types of chojin. One who has the ability to shoot fire from his hands, kind of like Liu Kang from, what was it, Mortal Kombat. The second is the Flex Chojin, who has powers similar to Mr. Fantastic, as well as Plastic Man and Elongated Man. And the third Chojin is a bestial Chojin. It's unclear what his powers are, um, but he does appear to have every extremely enhanced strength. Well, I mean, if it's bestial, it probably means that he's got like maybe he's got animalistic strength and senses, much like Beast from X Men or maybe Blanca from Street Fighter. Oh, a couple guys that kind of come to mind. Here's some artwork from Chojin X. Based on the first chapter, most Chojins appear to be above the law, able to get away with anything they want due to their superpowers. This is highlighted by the fact that the Chojin, who can shoot fire from his hands, brings down an entire airplane and faces no consequences whatsoever. Chojin's powers also do not appear to come naturally. Rather, the powers come from a shot given by a doctor. It's unclear if each shot grants specific powers or if the shots somehow adapt the person's personality who receives it. So they get the power, maybe a guy who is a fire shooter, maybe he's a hothead. um, somebody who has bestial powers is more or less pretty primal. So not only does the shot turning you into a superpowered being, but it also appears to have dramatic side effects concerning your personality. To what extent those side effects are is yet unknown. Ha 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 ha! It's the real deal. Ha 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 ha! Flex, Flexi Shojin, Johnny Kiyoshi Takeyama. The book's main protagonist is a teenager named Tokyo Kurahara. He's depicted as more of a dreamer than a doer. In fact, he acts as his He acts as his Azuma Higashi's eyes and ears as they defend innocent people from thugs. While Tokyo sees wrong doing, he doesn't actually do anything other than call Azuma to put a stop to it. It's Azuma who uses his karate and judo skills to defeat the criminals. However, the fact that Azuma is carrying the load eventually begins to weigh on Tokyo, especially after he receives some harsh criticism from his older sister. Excuse me one more time, guys. I'll be right back. Okay. Um, uh, Maybe there's a bit more here. I guess there's. And then better. Oh, okay. We saw all that. It never went on Friday. Laugh a lot. I'm always driving to work. I got to make a run to the craft store tomorrow. I got projects. Okay. Text to speech. Um, That'll your 5,000-year-old boomer. Have a lot of toys. Yeah, but I'm not a very good speaker, so I might mess up. Laugh out loud. Just speak clear and concisely. You'll be fine. That's impossible for me. Laugh out loud. How about Leto? We brown. We don't speak. He got the English good. Oh boy. Yeah. Drink the heck out of the Diet Coke, though. By the way, thanks for commenting on my video ideas where I cover pop culture. Much appreciated, Toys. That Coke is addictive. Soda in general is addictive, including the diets. Diet Dr. Pepper is my new thing. I was off Diet Pepsi for a bit. Diet Dr. Pepper is weird taste for me. Dr. Pepper non-diet is best on ice. Um, I love cherry Coke with aspartame. It's not to love. How about that? I was effing video. Leto, keep it up. Leto. Yeah, a lot of people don't know Dr. Pepper, just a special version of Cherry Coke, or just a spiced version of Cherry Coke. I love Mr. Pibb Extra. Exactly, Leto. All right. So, anyways, back to the article here. Let's see. After coming attack from Flex Chojin, he and Azuma stumble upon one of the shots that can turn you into a Chojin. Tokyo takes the shot, which turns him into the beast Chojin. You can read the full first chapter for free right here. Do you plan on checking out Shuichida and Chojin? All right, so that's it for that one. Let's see where we're at time wise. Okay, we're just over an hour mark here, so we got three stories here. If you don't like diet Dr. Pepper, then you should just swallow the full flavor. What manga is this? It's apparently a new one, made from the guy who created Tokyo Ghoul, Shui Ishida. The title of it's Chojin X, which I think translates to Superman X. Basically about a bunch of people who get shots that turn them into superpowered beings. That sounds lewd, toys. BG sneaks off to grab Diet Dr. Pepper, trying to not be noticed by Mike. Chojin X, it's the guy who did Tokyo Ghoul made it. Oh, right. Yes, I have heard of the manga. I wanted to read it. Evening, Mei. Yeah, so, anyways, so let's move on to the next article here, which will be on CBR in the anime section. All right, here's the first one we're going to look at on here. Remain Mappa's water polo anime summer release date surfaces. So it's very interesting just what Japan will come out with. Now they have a water polo anime. Very interesting stuff here. There you go. Hey, just got home. How's it going? Going to grab a bite and listen. Hey, Anon, how you doing, man? As always, guys, of course, I do appreciate appreciate all likes and shares. That does help with the algorithm. So I do appreciate all that. I thank you guys for being here. Now let's cut up some of these chats here. Evening, everyone. Let's see. Mike, do you read all your articles on? Not all of them are on. The two that I just read prior to this were on Bounding into Comics. I use Bounding into Comics and CBR. But most of the like sometimes, yeah, it does seem like I read a lot from CBR. But again, I'm also just pointing out more. I'm more focusing on release stuff and really too much like Bounding into Comic articles will tend to be more, I guess, the harder stuff, like the stuff going on with J. Scott Campbell. This stuff I focus more on the like release stuff and all that. So, hang on, anonymity. How are you? Hang on. Yeah, just recently I heard they are making an ASMR anime. Laugh out loud. Yeah, we're gonna cover that article here after this one. Water polo is actually nice. This should be interesting. Well, yeah. May they've made animes about all kinds of sports. They've made animes about baseball. They've made animes about. I think there is one anime about American football. I think it's called I Shield 21. There's a few out there that are based on basketball. There's one I know of on soccer. There's even one on swim. Free. The anime Free um, is based on swimming. An anime I'm watching right now, Haikyuu, is an anime on indoor volleyball. So, and of course, there's one on boxing too. So, how about the cutthroat world of badminton? That's too hot to handle. uh, Hang on, putt putt golf anime. Anyways, let's get into this. As I said, Remain, Mappa's water polo anime summer release date services. Upcoming Mappa water sports anime Remain announces its cast and crew, a new key visual, and an official release date for later this summer. Article by Lydia Levitch, published about 12 hours ago. So there you go. Right there's a picture of it right there. Studio Mappa's upcoming sports anime Remain will debut this summer. The official website for Studio Mappa's upcoming water polo based anime Remain announced that the series would premiere on TV Asahi's Neemanation. Neemanation. Okay. Try saying that one 3 times fast. On July 3rd, joining Mappa's impressive 2021 anime schedule. This announcement also included a new key visual and the reveal of a number of anime's cast and crew members. Here's it again. The anime's recent announcement also included 3 cast members: Taku Yashiro, domestic girlfriend in Bakumatsu, and newcomer Shun Miyazato will play Keita uh, Kakihama and Koki Toguchi, 2 of the protagonists. Minato's um, Minato's former junior high teammates, um, Yuma Uchida, Banana Fish, Fruits Basket, Jujutsu Kaisen, will play Riku Momosaki, the ace of the water polo team. Remains previously announced main cast includes Yuto Uemura from My Hero Academia, Vinland Saga, Bungo Stray Dogs, as protagonist Minato Kiyomizu, a former competitive water polo player who has sworn off ever playing the sport again. Kotaro Nishiyama from Kiznaiver and Haikyuu. Haikyuu is one that I just mentioned. Um, as Eitaro Oka, Minato's younger friend from middle school, Subaru Kimura, 2 through 43, Shin High School or Shane High School boys volleyball team, Penguindrum as Joe Jojima, the captain of the water polo team in Minato School, and Lin Keijo, Monster Strike, Fire Emblem Fates as Chinu Kawakubo, a girl who knows about Minato's past. Rounding out the supporting cast are Soma Saito from Akame ga Kill, Haikyuu, King of Prism, Makoto Furukawa, Dr. Stone, Kaguya Sama, Love is War, One Punch Man, Tasuku Haranaka, My Hero Academia, and Mirai, and Daisuke Hirose, the Royal Tutor, as characters Shugo, Takekazu, Yutaka, and Yoshiharu, respectively. That's quite a mouthful. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Okay. Amy, you should watch the anime that goes by the name of Space Brothers. It's about becoming astronauts, and it's gotten help from NASA to be more accurate. I've heard of it. It's so good and long, around 90 eps, and very rewarding to watch. Why can't porn be a sport? I'd be a gold medalist. Oh, all right, children, let's be nice. Let's behave. This reminds me of a really bad Riff Rax movie. It was called Spiker, about beach volleyball from the 80s. It had Russian spies. Just awful. Okie Toys, laugh out loud. That's toys being nice, Mike. Ah, anyways. Okay. As for the crew, Tiger and Bunny head writer Masafumi Nishida is the co-creator, general director, sound director, series script supervisor, and scriptwriter for every episode of Remain, Kiyoshi Matsuda, who has previously directed episodes of Banana Fish and Infinite Stratos, as well as Kakegurui's second season. Will direct the series. Aori Fujika is designing the original character concepts, and Shiho Tanaka, the animation director for Banana Fish and anime film Twittering Birds Never Fly, The Cloud Gather, will adapt those character designs for animation. The series score will be composed by Kana Udatane, Studio Mappa, which has recently achieved immense success with anime like Attack on Titan, the final season, Yuri on Ice, Kakagurui, and the explosively popular Jujutsu Kaisen will produce. Remain follows Minato Kiyomizu, a high schooler who used to be a competitive water polo player in junior high, but swore off the sport after an incident in the winter of his third year middle school. However, Minato is ultimately pulled back into the sport by his high school's underdog team and must help them preserve or persevere through various difficulties. So there we go with that one. Here's the next one. Another interesting article. I'll be right back. I just gotta go off camera for a moment. I'll be right back. NASA investigated me and my old medic partner after a bad 16-hour shift. We ate Burger King twice and White Castle once. We were told the smell was toxic and broke their sniffer equipment. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Okay. Let's see. That's a fart joke. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I get it. That's very true, Letta. We know about goat laugh out loud. Just in case. Not to be confused with Fudanari on ice. So many sports animes out there. Yep. I'm actually watching a pretty interesting one right now, Haikyuu. Haikyuu is pretty cool. Okay, I just read the first chapter of Chojin X. This will be lit for sure, man. Um, let's hope the author won't get shafted like before. That's a funny one. I think I read of this SMR earlier and found it funny. Anyone seen Woody? No, I haven't seen him. D, you read Fast, May May. Have you tried Viagra? Okay. I read and glanced, laugh out loud. I read and glance, laugh out loud. Um, I have a grandkid. What's Viagra? Oh boy. Oh, okay. Okay. No, because of the scene, Woody. Never mind. Zoom. I don't get it. I'm dense, so. Well, back goat, you're not the only one. I don't really get it either. But anyways, let's get to this one. Okay, and when I saw this, I knew this is one that we definitely are going to probably want to look into here, especially after I read up on what ASMR is, because I've heard of it before. Auto sensory uh, meditation response or median response, and median response actually auto sensory median response. An ASMR anime is on the way because, of course, it is. While, and this article is by Timothy Donahoe. While ASMR might not sound like an interesting anime concept, one upcoming project proves the medium can turn literally anything into a show. Okay? To outsiders, and even those in the know, anime has always been home to some rather zany ideas. This includes the wild fighting attacks and antagonists of most shonen manga, as well as the increasingly bizarre nature of most isekai shows. A somewhat esoteric upcoming series is taking this even further, utilizing a recent entertainment trend that doesn't, on paper, seem suited for narrative storytelling. 180 Bio de Kini no Mini wo Shiawase ni Dakiru ka, which roughly translate into the comical "Can I make your ears happy in 180 seconds?" In an upcoming anime series based around ASMR as a premise. While ASMR might not sound like an interesting story concept, it just goes to show that anime can turn literally anything into a show. You guys are saying so far about this. I'm going to bounce my head off a wall. Don't do that, bad go. Ha ha ha. If you think of Morning Woody, it's easier to get the joke. Cute anime girls whispering for an anime. Yes, God, yes. Uh, Mike says he's look up ASMR. We all know he's been watching it ever since left. No, I just looked at. I've heard the expression before. I just looked it up again at night to get to remind myself. I mean, you know. So sorry, May May. Mike's gonna holler at me now. Um, I watch ASMR food videos all the time. It's soothing. What did you do? What he's talking about, May May, is earlier I talked about how we should, especially now that, especially with the fact you're here, you're being a woman and stuff like that, we should probably take that a little bit more into consideration with what we, with what we say, because some of the things they were saying earlier um, were a little graphic, so I just felt like to be, respectful towards you, to try to tone it down a bit. That's all I was saying with that. I hope they turn live streaming into an anime. Laugh out loud. Didn't they already do that, Leto? I've worse. Don't you mean I'm worse? Amy is one of us. Laugh out loud. Nah, no worries. I've heard worse um, things around people. This isn't nothing. Yeah, all right. I mean, as I said, I was just trying to be considerate there. ASMR meets anime. ASMR, or autonomous sensory meridian, okay, meridian response, is a form of low grade euphoria and stimuli that trickles down one's spine. This is typically caused by similarly tingling sounds or notions, such as scalp scratching, fire roasting, or some other such sensation. 180 Kini no Mini is somewhat under wraps at the moment. All we know of the premise is that the heroine of the show shares her love of making ASMR videos with her colleagues. Um, it's unknown if the episodes themselves are only 180 seconds long or if they merely contain ASMR segments of that length. 180 seconds, of course, would be like 3 minutes, um, just to get a better idea. Um, but the series is described as short, suggesting the former. It's directed by Yoshinobu Kasai, who previously worked on shows such as Demon Lord Retry, while In Division and Ikachi Ipilka um, are working on the animation, who also produced that show. Um, Anime already has a strong link to viral audio trends. This sort of trend might be a weird thing to make an anime about, but the medium does have a connection to those sort of niche, geeky subcultures. After all, there are tons of anime ASMR videos already in existence, soothing people to sleep or meditation by their exaggerated sounds. There's also the iconic anime lo-fi study girl whose face dots many soft and smooth song playlists meant to write or study to. The connection to the lo-fi music genre also bleeds into the wider vaporwave, synthwave, and future funk fandoms, which also combine potentially calming sounds with anime such as Sailor Moon. ASMR as a show concept is still a bit out there. However, and the lack of information about the anime so far only makes it all more perplexing. Eager viewers and in this case, listeners can finally check the series out, doze off to it when it releases in October later this year. Yeah. I think some people might even argue that Tug actually engages in a form of ASMR as well. You know, uh, I'm just giving him a heads up. Wait, see. Nah, no worries. I've heard worse. Mike's just being polite. He's a nice dude. Thank you, Leto. That's a nice thing to say. Just be worried if he tilts his hat and says, "My lady." Laugh out loud. Um, Going to light up. Let's see. Nice. Enjoy yourself. Enon. Demon Lord retry is awesome. Meme Gelato Enchanted. Nothing is wrong with that though. I'm just giving him a heads up. Trust me, I've heard much more worse stuff. Sometimes I'm a rug, and sometimes I just jump into it. Demon Lord retry is a fun watch. Never saw Demon Lord retry, nor have I. Retry. Vaporwave. Demon Lord retry. Avalon, maybe. Sounds snexy. Oh, okay, gotta work on my failure. I promise it wasn't drone done on purpose. Uh, I'm so lost without you. I can't be too late. Oh yeah, Nick is on tonight, by the way, just to let you guys know. Um, see, he Twitter loses to Texas, Mother's Day meltdown, legal eagle wrecked, and more. So that's all that's going on there on his stream tonight. So trying to make sure I'm done. You know, yeah. So, anyways, oh yeah, we just got through this article, so we have one more article to get through. Oh, let me see the time. Hour 38. So yeah, I think we're making good time here. Should be able to get everything done pretty quick. There we go. Here we go. Here's the last main story of the evening. I figured I'd cover. Oh, I guess there was some more. Action Toys channel. Oof. Failure video. Hey Toys. I just sent you an email. Oh, you guys are up for chatter here. Yeah, I saw the clip. Let's see. Laugh out loud. Oh, oh God. Did you show him the deep fakes? You got one or two. Laugh out loud. That goat will have PTSD. Yeah, I see it now. Ick. It is quite disturbing. Yes. Yeah, I have him set on reminder. Laugh out loud. They now I've kept everything PG unless you want some um R-rated stuff. Laugh out loud. He did some for Mike, and those were cool because it was wrestling themed. Laugh out loud. You what makes violence so cool? That um it's that he's Canadian. Not not that would be weird. Ooh, not Christina Miller. Anything but her. No. Well, it is kind of a cartoon story. That's why I decided to do it. I thought Wolverine was cool because he's sexually attracted to Cyclone. Oh, brother. Aha, that's me trolling you. Laugh out loud. Um, what's a Christina Miller? She's one. She's, I guess, one of these. I guess May probably knows more about her than I would. I guess she's one of the two producers of the Bird Girl series that's airing on Cartoon Network here, which I think was I believe was a spin-off of Harvey Birdman, I believe. Okay, so Bird Girl executive producers Eric Richter and Christina Miller delved into making her soar, and that's SOAR, not SORE. Bird Girl executive producers Eric Richter and Christina Miller reflect on bringing Bird Girl to life without being beholden to the past. And look at all that right there. Bird Girl picks up after the events of Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law, exploring the same world from the fresh perspective of Judy Kin Seven, um, aka Bird Girl, introduced in the former series as the overeager but fully committed sidekick and legal partner to Harvey. Bird Girl places Judy at the center of the universe, or center of the narrative. Following the death of her father, Phil Kin7, Judy is forced to take control of his global company and try to point it in a new positive direction, which might be more difficult than she realizes considering how over the top her employees and the world around them turns out to be. Let's see what we have going on. Uh, She ran Cartoon Network into the ground with Teen Titans Go. Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law, was hilarious. Oh, lame. Let me guess. The show is going to be woke. Maybe. I mean, if you kind of saw the picture up top of the article, you might be able to make that argument there, maybe. Absolute garbage. They are ruining childhood with their wokeness. Oh, so they're going to make a messy version. Hold on, let's get it. Let's give it a chance. Maybe it's good. Uh, let me show you something here. Leto. It, now, all those I'm assuming are women right there. Okay, look at that at them. Put them into your mind for a moment and see where the criticism is going to come from. Look, so Wait till first episode. Oh yeah, here we go. It's a Hanna-Barbera show, so I hope they show some of the other Hanna-Barbera characters. The world is filled, insert woke problem. Let's see. I thought the same when Yasahime was woke, but it wasn't. Connecting it to, well, Yasahime is originally Japanese anime, so I doubt very seriously Yasahime was going to be woke at all because it originated from Japan. Unless, of course, and I think it was probably, let's see, even though it was distributed by Funimation at this point, I think the voicing was done. Well, let's see, voicing was done across Canada because I think most of the original cast members of Inuyasha all returned, except with the exception of Kirby Morrow, of course, who passed away. Um, the newer characters, I think, were based out of L.A. The people who voiced the newer characters are based out of L.A. So can't wait till that fails. Stephen Colbert will probably still voice Phil Can 7, so you know that's going to suck. Well, they said right there that apparently Phil Kin 7 passed away. He passed away apparently. So during an exclusive interview with CBR, Batgirl executive producers Eric Richter and Christina Miller delved into the show's sense of comedy, connecting it to Harvey Birdman and the joys of focusing on Judy. While it thrives on being the same world introduced in Harvey Birdman, Bird Girl feels like a wholly different show, embracing a different cast and tweaked tone while still employing the same bizarre and endearing comedy of the Adult Swim classic. In a world of superheroes and Hanna-Barbera characters, the day-to-day workings of attorneys and businesses are still needed, with the juxtaposition often being a source of comedy for both shows. Reflecting on finding the balance between honoring the previous series while still charting out a new path, Richter, who co created Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law, with Michael Owedin, um, admitted it could sometimes be a bit difficult. There's some more artwork from it right there. Connecting it to Harvey Birdman and the joys of focusing on Judy. Can't wait till that fails. Okay. Okay, yeah. Okay, so we're ready. Uh, People were saying because they made Inuyasha's and Sesshomaru's children girls, they said it would be woke, but it wasn't. It's generally a good show. Okay, but again, Leto, let's go back. Yasahime is originally from Japan. Yeah, maybe when it got dubbed, there was probably some talk that they might try to put their woke agenda in it. But You know, Colbert couldn't play him now, anyways. He's too busy. Okay. I'll just leave that there. Colbert is awful. You know why they gave the show to Bird Girl, right? No. Go on. Mobs Leto mobs. That's why Jay and Silent Bob, Bill and Ted, did it too. Terminator replaced John Connor with same lame ho. Ghostbusters did the female garbage. We love Birdman too, Richter explained. When we thought about giving this new show to Bird Girl, whom we love just as much, look, we could easily have done it as Harvey and Bird Girl. They set up shop on Main Street, and they're partners. Um, they solve crimes, which actually I probably would have watched that too. But we really pretty quickly just started talking about okay, in the 21st century, a lot of stuff has happened societally and generationally between Harvey Birdman, attorney at law, and now. What would it mean for Judy to inherit her dad's company in real terms? How do we build an image and show around that? Yeah, I would. The way that they're saying this, I would have to. I think I would have to agree with Ina on this. The way they're pitching this, it almost does sound like they're gonna try to make this a woke show. I mean, the way they're pitching it does sound like they're gonna try to make this a woke show. Oh wow, I'm at an hour 53 already. I gotta hurry along here. People who claim Bill and Ted wasn't woke are bleep. All right. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna stop reading your chats because we're at an hour and 54, so I really gotta focus on finishing up because I know you guys are gonna probably want to go over to Nick's stream pretty soon, so I gotta get through this. Let's see. How do we build an image and show around that? In very real terms, it means that Sebin and Sebin is a product of all of these disastrous, reckless decisions that were made by the previous generation. Now, this generation is left to clean it up. That's eventually where we started with the show. We just thought that was a really interesting direction to go. That just led us into the story of Judy, which we keep calling, It's not quite a spinoff. They're part of the same quilt. They might be adjacent squares on a quilt, um, but they're not the same. They're not exactly in the same area panel. Richter did tease that I think if there are characters from Harvey Birdman, attorney at law, who appear, there'd be an intent and an actual reason for it. It would probably be Harvey or Mentok, and probably less the Hanna-Barbera family. Harvey Birdman, attorney at law, and Bird Girl are not wholly dependent on one another, Miller added. But they're great companions. It really was a moment where Bird Girl and Paget Brewster, for that matter, were given room to run because she's just such a force of nature. She's so great. Bird Girl was so beloved in the original series, and at having the opportunity to really ask ourselves, like, hey, what would a world around her look like at this moment in time? Then it really starts to take shape, and so much so that we were able to make 22-minute office comedy around Judy and the cast of characters that come to life in the series. It's interesting. Richter noted. Let me see. Is this just them pitching? Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna stop. Normally, I try to go through the whole article, but I think it's pretty much. I think we pretty much get the gist of it right there. I think it is. It does look like it's going to be a pretty woke show. I'm going to end the article. I'm going to end the main article right there. As I said, we are running a little long on time here. I only need a few of my creators saying how unwoke it was because of unbinding love for Keanu, and I'm like, yeah, no. Um, I never watched Inuyasha 2 or whatever. I heard it wasn't that good. I watch it. It's good. I wasn't a big fan of on Inuyasha though either. I always thought it was a bit milk toast compared to Cowboy Bebop and Blue Gender back then. Well, I decided on Kavi. Blue Gender was an anime. Fast forward 2021, it's an actual gender. I would think that one would get you a point on Friday. Leto just burnt my tongue great. My guess is you started laughing at that, right, Matt Goat? Uh, oh, oof. Stop reading my. Yeah, I decided to stop reading because it's pretty apparent where the article was going at, Anon. Plus, as I said, we're running low on time. If you read this, I'm taking points. No, I stopped. I guess you. It's fine. Nick's always late and gay. D good though. Having fresh half and half makes daily want coffee wonderful. You know, D. I stopped watching Nick. I hate that new camera. I don't mind a milder coffee. Mm, 5 minus 5 points. I here they go. Anyways, guys, let's see. All right, guys. Well, anyways, we're coming up on 2 hours exactly here, so I'm gonna wrap up here. Um, are you guys ready for this day in Nietzsche history? Nietzsche. Nietzsche. Yeah, I don't like the blurry background. Nietzsche. I actually spent money to send him a chat saying I hate it. I won't be back till it's gone. Oh boy. Yeah, neat it up, Mike. Okay, so here we go. Neat it up. All right. Well, we'll be able to get through it quickly because I was only able to find a couple things anyway. So, anyways, today is Tuesday, May the 11th, 2021. Let's go ahead and take a look back at this day in Nietzsche history. And the first thing we're gonna point out here is on this date in 1991, um, the show, which apparently lasted only for 5 episodes, um, Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing, the show Swamp Thing, finished its run on Fox Kids. It only lasted, apparently, according to this, it only lasted for 5 episodes. Started in October 31st of 1990 and ended May 11th, 1991. So on this date in 1991, Swamp Thing came to an end. Wow. The first episode was on October 31st, then they didn't continue the show until April. Wow, what was going on then, I wonder. So, anyway, so on this date in 1991, which was 30 years ago today, Swamp Thing completed its run. Let's see what. Oh, brother. Disney has Wreck It Ralph. We have Nietzsche Mike. Okay, Anon, nice. Cameras let you do studio stickery. And Nikki is showing off. Laugh out loud. Dude, you kicked the Nietzsche machine. Not cool, bro. Not cool. Gulf War. Probably. Call it he's late. So take your time, Mike. Laugh out loud. Well, there wasn't really that much anyways to it. And then as we move ahead to 1995 here, which was 26 years ago today. Get that up here in a moment. On this date in 1995 from Archie Comics, Archie and Friends number 15 and Betty and Veronica number 90 went on sale on this date in 1995. So 26 years ago today, on this date in 1995 from Archie Comics, Archie and Friends number 15 and Betty and Veronica number 90 went on sale on this date in 1995. So there you go. So that's all of the Nietzsche history we have for you guys tonight. I thank you guys again for being here. I thank you guys for the likes and shares. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.